Oh, hello everyone. Thanks for taking time to listen. I'm going to be going over what Hannah Arendt might have thought about the meeting between Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump. All right, to imagine what Hannah Arendt might have said about Trump's meeting with Kim Jong-un, one must apply her core political concepts, particularly her critiques of lying in politics and the degradation of the public sphere under totalitarianism. Arendt, known for her sharp analysis of 20th century authoritarian regimes, would have likely viewed the summit with deep concern, seeing in them several dangerous trends concerning truth, reality, and the nature of political action. The fabrication of reality. A central theme for Arendt was how authoritarian and totalitarian regimes replaced factual reality with a constructed, fictitious one to maintain power. She would have likely interpreted the Trump-Kim summits as an exercise in political theater meant to blur the line between fact and fiction. Contempt for facts. Arendt wrote that mass leaders display extreme contempt for facts, such as, for in their opinions, fact depends entirely on the power of man who can fabricate it. Trump's history of making dubious or false claims and his repeated flattery of a dictator who presides over an extraordinarily repressive regime would be seen as a prime example of this. The lie is a tool of action. Arendt argued that modern lying doesn't just deny facts, but aims to substitute a new reality. The summits, portrayed as historic diplomatic breakthroughs, despite yielding no substantive progress on denuclearization, would fit this pattern. This would be especially relevant to Trump's personal assertion that he believed Kim Jong-un regarding the death of American student Otto Warmbier, which was contradicted by U.S. intelligence. Self-deception. Arendt was concerned about the self-deceived deceiver who loses contact with the world. She might have seen Trump's apparent belief in his own negotiating abilities, despite repeated failures to secure denuclearization, as a dangerous form of political self-deception. The distortion of political action. For Arendt, true political action is unpredictable and rooted in a public space of free and equal citizens. In contrast, the Trump-Kim meetings exhibit characteristics that she found antithetical to genuine politics. Personalization over policy. Arendt might have been wary of Trump's emphasis on his personal chemistry with Kim, evidenced by the beautiful letters they exchanged, rather than a focus on institutional diplomacy and verifiable policy objectives. Arendt valued institution-based action, not the private affection of leaders. Showmanship over substance. She might have seen the meetings as the inverse of true political action. Instead of bringing something original and unanticipated into the world through collective speech and collaboration, the summits were choreographed spectacles devoid of meaningful outcome. The danger of unpredictability. While Arendt saw action as inherently unpredictable, she would have distinguished between the spontaneity of free action and the capricious, high-risk showmanship of Trump's foreign policy. Such impulsive acts, like crossing the DMZ for a photo op, serve the personal image of the leader, not the collective good of the public. The normalization of tyranny. Perhaps Arendt's greatest concern would be the meetings elevated an oppressive tyrant, effectively normalizing his brutal rule on the global stage, undermining the concept of justice. Arendt argued that universal crimes like genocide are offenses against all of humanity. By treating a brutal dictator as a legitimate counterpart, Trump's actions risked undermining the concept of international justice. Ignoring rights. Arendt, a refugee from Nazi Germany, would have been acutely sensitive to the human rights abuses in North Korea, which includes gulags and systemic repression. The theoretical summits, by focusing on leaders' personality, distracted from and effectively dismissed the suffering of the North Korean people. The banality of evil. While Arendt's concepts of the banality of evil referred to the thoughtless participation of functionaries like Adolf Eichmann, she might have applied it differently here. The normalization of relations with a tyrant, treated as a routine political event, could be seen as an act of political thoughtlessness, making the evil itself seem banal and normal. The retreat from the public sphere. Hannah Arendt believed that a healthy democracy requires a public sphere where citizens can engage in free political discourse. The political spectacle of the summits could be seen as an affront to this ideal. The spectacles replaces debate by replacing open political debate with a media spectacle. The summits encourage passivity rather than engagement. The audience became a spectator, not a participant. Distrust of institutions. The summits were driven by personal impulse rather than established foreign policy. This reinforces political distrust in democratic institutions, a phenomenon Arendt warned could open the door to authoritarianism. In summary, an Arendtian analysis would likely see the Trump-Kim summits as a dangerous spectacle that polluted the public sphere with falsehoods and undermined democratic institutions rather than promoting genuine peace. The meeting serves to normalize tyranny and celebrate the exercise of raw power, confirming her fears about the decline of political action in the modern world. That's all, everyone. Thanks for listening. I obtained this information using a search through artificial intelligence to summarize what Hannah Arendt might have thought if she was alive. Today. She died in 1975, so it's a long time ago. But thank you, everyone. Take care.